Next up is this one that has no sound. You would think that there is sound, but you can maybe make up your own music there in the background. So good though. Again, one of really, really good selection here in this competition where I don't have super much to say, where it's mostly tiny things, especially like a moment through there on the head and on the exit where something feels slightly off in terms of the perspective of where it's going. But it's overall, it's such a great idea. So the biggest thing would be, I don't know, there's a limit usually in the frame. So it might be something where he comes out just a bit more, where I would delay this until Tom's out maybe this far. So we have a nice look. We get the attitude, eyes closed, happy, and then shoo, then this guy comes in that can do all of this and then lead to that moment instead of both kind of trying to get our attention at the same time. And if I look at just that, I know that rig, it's really nice. A really nice line. It really helps that it's so dark in terms of the silhouette. Something like this, I'd be careful when you have such an exaggerated hip turn here where it's really, really pivoting off the middle, or I'll give this an ever so slight move. Also giving this a bit of a, not that far, but you know, some lean on there to push this, but so it doesn't feel so. I rotated the controller and there's the pivot right there. I think that'd be the biggest thing, but there's some really nice exaggerated moves and nice drag finger poses here on each frame. It's really nice. It's really nicely done over the whole thing. If I'd be picky, maybe that would be like one different close up frames. It's not the same, almost a bit of a repeat of the pose, but it's really cool. Again, watch that in real time. Has a nice weight to that. I love how it gets down and then relaxes into that softness, into this. It's really good. I love seeing all that. And if you look at Tom, I love this here. I love that out, and then the arms come up, and then how they kind of swing like this into that cute walk, and it feels like it's always a bit different. Each step has something in there. Really, really cool. Definitely more limited. So once you get into that, there's some very, you know, big moves in the body that only affect certain areas, where here you could have a slight change in the hips and in the root ever so slightly, but it already works really well. To me, for something like this, whenever it's CG, even though it looks nicely stylized there with the renders, there's a slight thing of when this moves back, and maybe again, you look this in 2D, it would be so forgiven, but I think of CG, and every time a head just moves straight back, anything that moves so straight, or the body moving a little bit and the wrist completely locked, I always feel like that just feels so CG. And even if you want to emulate 2D, I'll bring in a little bit of, even if it's a tiny pixel change, just a slight movement in there. You can see this here, how there's just a bit more life in there. So all that stuff is nicely done. I love all this. This is great. You can see all the changes here in the ears and the hair into clean poses. Love all that. But the rhythm is great. How he goes down. Bing. Doing. Nice hold on that leg. What? And that. You can see the toes there. Toes wiggle. It's so well done. I really, really like that clip here. The whole thing would be this here again, where the face feels almost like it's a 2D card, where you got, at least there's some movement there. That's good. I like that there's at least some movement in there, as there's bigger movement there. But then as the head moves around, it just feels like it's an overall translate with no rotation. I would still have a slight rotation in there, so it's not this 2D card that feels attached to it, more of a 3D element. Love that. Look at that. Come on, you gotta go frame by frame. So great. Going into that again, just so many elements. I don't have really too much to say, just because there's nicely posed out fingers and changes, a little camera shake in there. And again, this again could be for me where all that stuff is moving in and just feels very, very locked. So anything where you even if you try to eliminate 2D, just watch out any type of IK moves in heads and wrists and feet. And the only thing here is that it will feel like it will exit this way and not crab sideways out there. And again, there's a frame limit, but having a full exit on Tom, on the face and the hands, that'd be the only thing on here. I love this though. I love the idea that goes into this, like, and it keeps going. The musical, it gets forced into that dancing, the look around going, wait a minute, what is going on, into that, and then trying to scramble. It's great. It feels like you want to scramble with like maybe like eyes closed, like and then trying to like scratch the floor and try to stay in the place. Anyway, that's that. Lots of picky notes here and there. It's just so well done. I love this. So good. And that's it for me.